Sublime magnificence.
Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen. And as usual, I am joined by my co-host and runner-mate, one of my best friends in the world, El Director himself, Bill Smith.
Hey Omari, thank you for having me back. As always, it's such a pleasure to be here. Um, yeah, particularly love these weeks where I get told to watch something.
Yes, that's right. And this guy is the same general premise of it, is in the title. We trade things back and forth. One guy's seen it, other guy hasn't. We're just trading some things. And this week was I kind of jumped in the line to do something because about a month or so ago, uh, Kira Toriyama, mangaka of numerous series like Doctor Slump, but of course Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, passed. He passed away. A lot of people saddened by it, myself included. Dragon Ball's been a lot to me,
Yeah.
if you couldn't tell. Some of these times will come on here. I'm like, yeah, see, I really like this, and I'll grab a thing or two. I'll grab something, be like, yeah, here it is. Other times I'm like this, but I got no proof. This has been on the top of, like, been behind me and all this. A lot of my early content on here is Dragon Ball related stuff I did with Super Jazz back in the day, as us going over all the movies.
Yep.
Uh, you want?
When did it start? How did it start?
I want to say it was around 2013, about 11 years ago or so. Just Super Jazz and I. You talking about us doing the videos and stuff?
Oh, no. Like no, Dragon Ball. Like how
Oh,
like was it just Toonami back in the day, like 12
so
years old?
funny enough, around that time, Dragon Ball came on. I remember them talking about Dragon Ball Z. Maybe not Toonami, but I remember it was gonna be on TV. And I'm like, this looks interesting. And the first episode came on, and I watched it, and it didn't grip me. I said, this is boring. I'm never gonna watch this. And then eventually, a buddy of mine stayed over one time, and he had a VHS. It was Goku versus Frieza in the Namek saga, pretty much, and all of that. We watched those episodes, you know, pretty much all back to back. And I was like, oh, this is actually interesting. And around that time, got cable. Toonami started showing, and they were going right into the Cell Saga, which was right after it. So I pretty much was able to just pick up from there and keep watching. And I became crazy about it. I became watching it, or I enjoyed watching it. Initially, I was a fan of Gohan because he was a kid that had anger issues, but he got stronger from the anger issues. As a kid with anger issues, but was never that strong. I found motivation in that around the time.
Yep.
So I was a real big fan of Cell Saga Gohan. And as the series went on,
Hadn't yet found your true love.
pretty much. Wasn't until like a rewatch of the Cell Saga and some other stuff as I got older and started actually processing stuff that's happening in plots. Because a lot of time when I was younger, it was as surface level to the plot as it was, but not really understanding what was going on until like middle school, high school, when I'm like, oh, there's a lot more to this show. There's actually deeper. Oh, things actually matter from one episode to the next. It's not just the episodic. I should pay attention type stuff. And Dragon Ball was one of the first shows that really I was like, oh, now I'm watching the Cell Saga, and then eventually, yes, big fan of Vegeta, stayed a big fan of Vegeta when the Buu Saga came around and Gohan decided to be Great Saiyan Man high school stuff, nerdy, while Vegeta's like, I'm still training and fighting and pride and all of this shit. So it's like, yeah, but yeah, big fan of Vegeta. clearly got those stuff on. But that doesn't mean I don't like Kakarot. My mother went to Japan and she was like, if you want me to get you something like something from the Dragon Ball or something that you like, please send me some pictures. And I'm like, okay. So I sent her 3 pictures of Vegeta and 3 pictures of Zoro. And I was like, I get something with that. And she's like, cool. And she brought me back a Goku statue. It's over there. It's hilarious. I was like, Mom, here were the pictures.
They all look really similar.
She turns out she didn't look at the pictures. She just saw Dragon Ball. But a friend of mine just got me this thing for a recent Christmas.
Oh.
It's the Dragon Ball Kakarot Collector's Edition that comes with this little figure right there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, as it turns out. But with Toriyama passing, I decided I wanted to cover something on here. I figured I know you, which we'll get into your fandom in a moment, but it's not as much as my well, not saying you know what I mean. You haven't.
No, it's not
Bottom line
nearly.
is you haven't. I knew you hadn't seen this, but I figured if I was gonna cover something with you or cover something on here, it'd be fun for me to rewatch anyway, and to get a second opinion on it because Super Jazz wasn't the biggest fan. Spoilers for our other video. If you want to see why, go watch it. Or I'll mention it here too, but to get my point. Dragon Ball Super Brawly is the movie we're watching.
Dragon Ball Super Brawly 2018. Goku and Vegeta encounter Brawly, a Saiyan warrior, unlike any fighter they've faced before. It is directed by Tetsuya Nagamine and written by Akira Toriyama.
Yeah. So Bill, your Dragon Ball fandom.
Yeah, so I was aware of them airing on Cartoon Network. I was aware of people really enjoying them. It was only ever something, it was like the last option on TV kind of thing, and a couple of times it got me hooked to attempting to return to it. Like I saw a good chunk of the Cell Saga, mostly the Gohan Cell fight and that series of episodes. I remember that very clearly. Very, very rare, sporadic pre-Cell anything. Like maybe I've seen the episode that I don't know if it's even the very first episode of Z of is maybe that's why I've seen it because I feel like I've seen it maybe a couple of times. It's like Vegeta and his crew arriving on Earth. They got their scanners out. They're doing all their scanning. They meet Goku for the first time. All of that stuff going
And
on.
like Raditz, I think, yeah, does a lot of that in the first
Uh,
episode. Yeah.
so yeah, I've seen that one. I know I've seen a couple of episodes from inside of fights with Frieza, but also that ends up being kind of my biggest complaint of why I never got into being a Dragon Ball fan is because I encountered too many episodes where it felt like nothing happened, where it literally just dangled me on a string for an entire 20 minutes and then was just like, tune in next week where they're gonna punch each other. So that's kind of where I ended up falling out. But then I know I did end up checking out a good chunk of the Boo saga. Um so yeah, I had waves. I had waves where I just kind of found it on TV and was like, "Oh yeah, right. So what's going on in the Dragon Ball world?" Okay, there's this pink dude. Okay. And then the show is designed as a cliffhanger almost every fucking time. So I don't understand why
We
like
don't know what's
why like shows
happening.
like The Walking Dead and like Game of Thrones or something used to get so much heat for that because shows have been doing that bullshit all the time.
Find out
Like
next time. Dragon Ball Z.
so yeah, I was interested to dig in, but honestly, I didn't know what I was getting into because I very quickly was like, all right, Omari, this is a movie in a series of movies that happened long after I finished watching this show in the little bit of show that I've seen. You sure we want to go down this route? You were like, yeah, it's pretty
It's
like
a
and
self-contained
to
enough story.
I mean, to the movie's credit, it kind of gives you all of the exposition from other movies or shows that you need to know to
Yeah.
complete
Yeah.
the ends of the story if you wanted to. You don't have the full impact of who Frieza is if you've never seen anything but this movie, but you know that he can destroy an entire planet without blinking an eye.
Yeah, you learn you go learn real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's a self-contained enough story. Or at least that's what I felt like. Also, with it being written by Toriyama. So a little bit of background on the whole character. Had you heard of Brawley? You've heard of Brawley before. No? Okay. So
Only from your YouTube channel mentioning it
okay.
at
So
different points because in addition to you guys doing an entire video review on this, you have also allowed this subject to populate at least two different episodes of your podcast
it
where
is
you spend almost the
definitely
entire hour debating the movie again.
there's definitely a run-on it has definitely been a run-on conversation topic between me and Super Jazz and a meme of sorts within our own like channel. However,
That is more than likely the only place I have ever heard the phrase Brawley.
okay, so Brawley is a character who is pretty much exclusive to the movies, which are considered non-canon. He first showed up in the movie Brawley the Legendary Super Saiyan, kind of like as an answer to wait, they made a big deal in the Namek saga about there being a legendary Super Saiyan that's only once in every like millennia. And by the end of the series, by the end of the end of the next saga, we got four of them motherfuckers. But it's like, oh no, Brawley is what they mean when they say the legendary Super Saiyan. He's a Super Saiyan that's just stronger than every fucking body, and he's menacing as shit. Really cool movie in and of its own right. I could have done that one. I did this one, but Toriyama drew the character or whatever. We had that movie. It was what it was. It was fun. Everybody liked the character. Brawley is just big. He's scary. And he had a lot of like savage lines like, "Tell me, Goku, do you love your son?" And right before he like blows his ass up and shit, like shit like that. Taking a Kamehameha to the face and going, "What the hell was that?" So he had some badassery to him, and he had a big fan following, so much that they made a sequel, The Return of Brawley the Second Coming, involving Gohan and Goten and Trunks. It was not good. It wasn't. It was, but it still had some moments. It had enough hype. Brawley was there, beat up, whatever. He loses. Then they had a third one, Bio Brawley, where someone tried to clone Brawley using DNA, and it eventually turns into a giant sludge monster, or as I called it, a shit monster. It looked like a pile of shit. And you can go see all our review on that one. Now, oh no, the Brawley debate has been a through line through the channel of me and Super Jazz since like damn near the first video we did. We would just mention maybe we'll do this, see what happens when we get to Bio Brawley. What people won't lose also? What? Anyway, I digress. Bottom line is Broly had like a good following, but there was also a bit of lameness to him. His backstory was kind of stupid. He was like really mad because Goku was crying next to him as a baby, and so that sent him into an angry rage when he saw him and just starts yelling Kakarot repeatedly. It was a lame backstory, despite he being a really cool character. He was a really cool character with a really lame backstory, pretty much.
Okay.
But somewhere in the 2010s, Toriyama comes across, I guess, the drawings of Broly and was like, that's a cool character. I should probably do something with them, like in a more canon say. So, from what I believe, the events of this are considered canon. Like Dragon Ball Super and stuff is canonically continued after the end of Z. So it's a canon version of Broly with the story being entirely written by Toriyama as opposed to here's a character, here's some ideas, make a movie for
Yep.
it. And so it was like that, and I chose it because it's what I look for when I think fan service. I think this things that go, oh, if I'm a fan of this series, why am I a fan of this series? This obviously fan service, as it's colloquially known, just means TNA. But I'm like, that's not the only reason I'm watching this.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I'm like,
They
I figured
certainly had
it's
a
a
couple
good.
of moments of that too.
They did,
Even in
they
Dragon
did,
Ball.
no, they did. But you know what I mean.
No, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, Chi Lai's existence is the other kind of fan service.
Yeah, man, that time that an entire scene is framed around the curvature of her buttocks. I was like, okay, all right.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, with that, I guess expectations or did you touch on that when it came to like the expectations?
I think I did.
All right, so I guess we'll get into it. So I guess some of your initial reactions and stuff as we get into the movie, discuss the film itself.
I'm like start off of it. I'm just trying to get on board,
Okay.
and like there are basic things from the ball and Z canon that I would know. One of those things is like Frieza being like ultimate villain of the Saiyans, and I probably already knew Frieza destroyed their planet at some point. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. In remark of your fan service thing, like, oh, that's cool. They're showing how this happened. Like this has probably been a canonical event for a long time that I don't know as somebody if we've ever seen.
We've seen
So
versions of it, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so this was weird in the sense that, like it was, I liked it as well. Oh, I didn't want to cut you off, but
Oh yeah.
because you were talking about have we seen this whole when it came to the destruction of Planet Vegeta before? There have been flashes in the past, at least, of Frieza doing the whole ball finger, haha, blow up the planet. It was me, not anything else. But as you met in this movie, the character Bardock, who Goku's
Which
father.
hilariously, I'm sitting there on my couch about ready to write a note that's like, oh my gosh, how lazy is this fucking company that they can't even like, oh, just grab Goku's character design and slap a scar on his face. That'll work. Like, oh my God, like all of these people look alike. They can't make anybody more distinguished. Oh, it's his father. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, yeah. That so Bardock, he technically had a assumed canon. Like it was one of those weird things where it was technically never in the comics, but it was assumed to be canon. There was a special card called Bardock, the father of Goku, that dealt with him leading up to the planet Vegeta's destruction. Where in that he was a regular Frieza soldier. After attacking a planet, the enemies that they beat decided to curse him with the ability to see into the future because they could, and they saw the destruction of their planet and just had to live and deal with the fact that it was gonna happen. He's like, now you gonna have to deal with that shit too. Deuces, I'm dying. And so Bardock notices that Frieza's gonna blow up planet Vegeta. He tries to tell everybody, no one believes him. So he ends it with an epic like one on 1,000. Him trying to fight everybody on the Frieza ship, like you're like Frieza. Then eventually making a big ass speech like, you can't take down the Saiyans. The Saiyans ain't, gonna deal with your bullshit. Tries to attack, and Frieza just sits there the whole time, just with a finger in the air. When he finally attacks, just starts laughing, giant ass thing, and then just blows up the planet. He sees in the future like, that's okay, my son's gonna beat you. But it's a pretty cool special. Bardock, he was at his thing. This time they decided, no, Goku just, we're gonna forget the Superman allegories. He's just Superman. It's
Yeah.
just Superman origin story. Then we got to meet Goku's mom, which I don't think we met before this.
Okay.
So that was cool.
Hmm.
Um, and that was a different take on it.
Yeah,
But
I didn't know that they were initially subservient to Frieza. I just assumed
yeah,
it was just a Frieza's one of those people that just is flying the galaxy and conquering every planet that he comes across.
well, yeah, but well, you saw like how they mentioned in this, the Saiyans always used to do their own conquering thing and sell
Right.
planets to the highest bidder or whatever. But King Cold, Frieza's dad, somehow came to take over them and put them under his servitude. And
Uh-huh.
then they ended up, by way of monarchy, being under Frieza's servitude. But Frieza was way more of an asshole than King Cold, who was also an asshole.
Do the puns translate, or is that a weird Americanized creation?
Oh no! So Toriyama has a theming when he names his characters. Usually they name in like different themes. Like the Saiyans or the Saiyajins are based off of the word in Japan yasai for vegetable. They're the vegetable people.
Okay.
So that's why they all have names
Kakarot.
for Kakarot, Carrot. Vegeta is just vegetable without the BLE.
Right.
And the King Vegeta, Planet Vegeta. Nappa is lettuce in some of the
Cabbage, yeah.
ways, cabbage. Radish.
That's
Bardock is a
funny.
burdock root, which
Uh-huh.
radishes and carrots are associated to familiarly, like plant family wise,
Yep.
stuff like that. Guinea is something else. Uh, but
Okay.
yeah,
And then
beets.
you got
Beets was a
cold things.
character. Asparagus, broccoli. So the Saiyans, vegetables. The Frieza race, you got Frieza, his dad King Cold, and his brother from like the movies and shit, Cooler. Then there's the parallel dimension version named Frost.
I was gonna say there hasn't been a fridge yet.
No, there was Frost. The dynamics I think are all named after like snails and stuff, with the exception of Piccolo, because Piccolo comes from back in Dragon Ball, Demon King Piccolo and all his people who were named after instruments like trombone and trumpet and do 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 do. So that kind of thing happens and stuff like that where he'll name them. It's a semi lazy way of coming up with names, but it's like, oh, people in this group are probably going to be named after this stuff. Everyone that works with Garlic Jr. is probably named after some spice. Shit like
Okay.
that.
All right.
Yeah. Bulma's family, Bulma or Blueburst, and we just translated it to Bulma, but like ladies' underwear. Her dad, Dr. Brief. Her son, Trunks. Her daughter, Bra or Bura or Bulla, as we eventually translated it. They're all named after fucking clothing.
Goofy.
It's goofy. Like he was a gag manga writer that wanted to write a battle manga, and it was goofy to begin with, and all the way through.
Yeah.
Never loses the goofiness, even when it tries to be serious. Oh, Frieza Force. A lot of the random people are named after different fruits and shit. Chilai, like lychee, limo, lemon. I think Berry Blue was one of the people Frieza was talking to. Berry Blue, would you please do this? There was kiwi. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you, and you put all those fruits and stuff in the freezer, or you can, or in the fridge and keep them cold.
No.
The Ginyu Force is all named after dairy products. I
Let's rewind 30 seconds ago before I knew all of this.
Hey, you asked, is there do the names translate? The answer is yes. Um, so yeah, they send Goku off to the thing, and we get also the backstory of Brawly, which they changed up. Obviously, there's no him with Goku crying next to him. The whole backstory is different now. He's still what the thing that does still translate or carry over. Baby Brawly too damn strong. King Vegeta don't like that. He's gonna try to. I think he tried to kill Baby Brawly in the original, and then he got mad and escaped with his dad. This one, he's like, "You're lucky I don't kill him." By the way, real stupid to tell this man when he still had a chance of like catching up, like where you're sending him and accurately where you're sending him. Yes, I sent him off to a planet called Vampa. Yes, it's at the end of the galaxy here. This kind of thing. Yes, I sent him like 2 minutes ago. You could probably catch him if you jump out the window.
Planet's inhabitable. Nobody else will be there.
We can't sell it to anybody, so we won't. We don't even bother looking at it. Like, what the fuck? This is why Frieza kills y'all. Stupid. No, but yeah. Then they escape, and fucking Paragus goes, chases after the baby, and finds him on the planet. Kills the guy with them. Kills Beats. Shoots him because he's like one way to preserve food. What?
Yep. Yeah, the second he opened that engine and was like, "It's broken," I was like, "You're dead. You're dead. Goodbye."
Yeah, because he was so nice to him the whole time. Don't worry. Once I find him, we're going off to a planet. Drop me off anywhere and go on about your life. Okay, that sounds cool. Oh shit, this broke. Died, motherfucker. What?
Well, we're gonna run out of food. Boom.
Which, to be fair, he even states, and they state a lot that, despite the tragedy of the Saiyan race and their whole planet being destroyed, they state a lot of times that they weren't good people. Like there's a such thing as a trustworthy Saiyan. So
Right.
we Saiyans have always took over planets and sold them to the
Goku's
hires, built them.
Goku's
But
mom is like, hey, so yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm still running, but like, why do you love him? Why do you care about this dude? You're not supposed to give a shit about your son.
why don't the three of us just fucking leave? What the hell? I don't get it. What this don't make sense to me. It's okay. I've been trying to think about being more than the dick. So, which is far cry from let's go, let's try and revolt against Frieza. We don't want to. Don't revolt against Frieza. Despite the fact that he still does it on his own, he still jumps up there. Ah! That was literally just thrown in for fan service for the
Just eat
people who
this
are
for
mad
him
that
to just eat the spirit ball.
yeah, for people who are mad that he's not getting the same badass send off that he got in the special. They're like, wait, your canon version of him doesn't get to have that? But they're like, no, there. He's still trying to shoot the fucking thing futilely. He dies anyway, guys. Doesn't matter. But fast forward, and yeah, we get a little montage of Dragon Ball through the years, and then cut to present day where Goku and Vegeta had their own private island to fight on because
Because
Bulma's that
Bulma's rich.
as
Is that the
fuck.
story? Okay.
So those little capsule things, like what Goku used at the end, he's like, my friend Bulma gave me these. Yeah, they're from this thing called the Capsule Corporation, which Bulma's dad owns. He invented the technology for. And it is the main technology the world uses. They use capsules for like everything. So she is she is the money tree. There's a filler episode of Dragon Ball Super where everybody wants to make a wish with the Dragon Balls, but they need to use it for something else. And eventually, Bulma pretty much gets everybody to calm down by just buying what they want to wish for. Like, I want this here. I want this. Ah.
Fair enough.
And yeah, but she eventually, because she knows her husband and her best friend, because Bulma's the first person Goku meets on his journey.
Mhm.
in like anything. Like Goku's first person he ever met was like Bulma. So he and Bulma have been friends as long as the series has existed.
Yeah.
But she knows how he is. She knows how her husband is. They like fighting, especially in Dragon Ball Super, where everybody's been flanderized to archetypes of themselves at this point. Goku stupid, me like fight. Vegeta mad, me like fight.
And every time there's a new big boss, we have to raise the new upper ceiling power level. To which that's the thing that I had to adapt to is that there's like 4 different hair colors now.
I tried to give you a quick thing of like, okay, yeah,
Right.
Super Saiyan God, which is the red one, and then there's pretty much if you do that and then you go Super Saiyan, you get the blue, which is or which we just call Super Saiyan Blue, but the long version is Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, which I think is silly. So I just Super Saiyan Blue since they said it in the show once. I'm like, okay, it's gonna go with blue. Anyway, the bottom line is at that level, they are considered like deity level strength, damn near, but not exactly. Because Beerus, the destroyer god, Sphinx cat looking dude, is technically stronger than both of them. And Whis, the effeminate gentleman that was with them, is the guy. He's Beerus's handler, also guy who trained Beerus, and is assumed to be stronger than Beerus on a fucking galactic like level because Beerus just thinks and your planet's destroyed. Like that's
And
just
they
what he
just like
does.
hanging out with Goku.
Well, in the movie where the whole Super Saiyan God thing came up, pretty much that conflict was dissolved because they liked the food on Earth. Let's just put it that way. Like when they were getting ready to go to Alaska, and he's like, "Is there any good food there?" Not that I didn't think you like. Then I'm just gonna sit here. Yeah, they literally spared Earth because they liked the food. And they hang around because over the course of Dragon Ball Super, Goku wanted to train with Beerus after losing to him. Vegeta wanted to train with them because Goku's training with them. Because can't let Goku get too much stronger than me. And over the course of time, when Bulma needs stuff from him or whatever to get Whis and them's attention, she's just like, "Hey, here's some random ass dessert. Don't y'all want to come over here and do this? And I got some food for you." And before you know it, Bulma's got them wrapped around the finger to the point where she's just like, "Well, you're holding on to my kid while I go get this Dragon Ball." And he's like, "What the fuck? I'm a destroyer god." I'm like, damn, this man
You're a
showed.
babysitter today, bitch.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
those are
yeah.
two people that like when that first scene pops up, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
they
who.
also don't do a lot in the movie, so I'm
No,
like,
they don't.
yeah. But that's who they are. But yeah, they get note that the Dragon Balls have been taken, and it turns out Frieza wants to take the Dragon Balls. I found it funny that I find it funny that these things that were so hard to find are just so easy for them now. Because the series was built around, oh, get these Dragon Balls, one wish is all you got. And now literally it's like Bulma's whole like her home health skincare thing routine is every time they come up, let me grab them and wish I looked 5 years younger.
Uh-huh.
The fact that you can waste the wish on that. And then Frieza, who once wanted to wish for immortality and had numerous arcs where don't let this motherfucker get him, now wants it to wish that he was 5 centimeters taller. And both of them for the same reason of I don't want it to be noticeable or too noticeable to where it looks fake.
Yeah.
I want this to be natural. The second Frieza said that shit, I was like, my goodness, this is what it's become. This man has been killed twice by us and is still trying to take over the fucking universe. He's a very flat character arc. He evil and he will never not be evil. Even when
Mhm.
he's helping the good guys, trust me, he's still evil. That
Yeah.
is Frieza. That's just who he be. Anyway, fast forward a bit. He's trying to get the Dragon Balls. Some people in Frieza's force, they find Brawly and his dad on a fucking planet. And Chi she's into Brawly the second she sees him.
Yeah.
he fucking kills some giant bug monster thing, and they're like, "Oh no, we got to take you to Lord Frieza. You're living Saiyans out here. This is like 40. It's been 40 years since any of the other ones have fucking died. You know, yeah, let's get him to him." And then
Mhm.
Frieza sees him, and he's like, "Ooh, a really strong Saiyan. Maybe he could beat the fuck out of Goku and Vegeta for me."
That wasn't even on my agenda, but
Yeah, I was trying to stay away from them motherfuckers. But if I got my own Saiyan, interesting. And the dad mentions the shock collar thing. And when he pulls out that remote the first time and you see the like trauma face on Brawley, like from seeing that remote, because he's very Tarzan to start. Oh,
yeah.
he used 2, 3 words. What is water? You shouldn't
Yeah.
talk about him. He's my father. 2 minutes later. But we see that he's got a shock collar because Brawley can get out of hand, and it's bad if he gets out of hand. But clearly, it's shock therapy. It ain't right to be doing that stuff. We get another shot in like the fucking bar where Chi-Li's trying to like talk to Brawley, and then some dude, hey girl, you get away from these scrawny mofos and come with me. First off, you're right in front of Brawley. That dude is like a foot taller than you with like an extra 100 pounds of muscle. Scrawny dudes.
Mhm.
Like, are you
This
stupid?
dude is giant.
He's huge as shit. And he's just like, she doesn't want to talk to you, and I don't fucking like you either. Yeah, that's when you fucking walk in, like, all right, you heard him, get out of here. And then Brawley gets ready to fight when the dad, threatens with the fucking button.
Uh-huh.
So oh no, he uses the button.
No, yeah, it looks pretty brutal.
Yeah, he uses the button. It's fucking brutal as shit. And dad gets called away, and Sheila does the thing that is morally right, but they do go on to have a point like you don't know why he's doing it. The morally correct thing is indeed to break the remote. But the
For sure.
smart thing to do, who cares? Bottom line is they introduce him to water and chocolate. That was cool. They give him the backstory with the ear,
Yeah.
like the thing. It's like, okay, some empathy. He has a little bit more than just being
Yeah,
mad and yelling
that
Kakarot
was
repeatedly.
cool. I was initially just anticipating that was going to be his big first test that his dad made him do when he was way too young. Like we would get the cutscene and he would still
Yeah.
be like it would be like three
Like
weeks
his
after we
first
left
hunt or
him.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to kill the biggest monster on the planet. But no, the idea that was his first friend was really sweet.
Yeah. And then his dad just, hey, stop having friends. There's nobody else on this planet.
Right.
Stop having friends. That's not training, that's playing. Man, fucking dumbass. Anyway, but we get that little backstory and they start talking some shit. They're just like, dude, your dad's a piece of shit. What the fuck? How could anyone be around someone that's that fucking terrible? He's like, guys, he's still my dad. Like,
Yeah, stop talking about my dad.
like, I get it. I don't like the shot caller either, but that's my dad, yo. I don't know y'all people. I've known him 40 years. But they get to the planet. Frieza's people, they get the seventh Dragon Ball, but Goku and Vegeta stop that shit. Frieza shows up with the Saiyans, and we pretty much just go right into the fight. Because Paragas wants revenge. Brawly senses that Dad is mad, and so Brawly mad.
Hmm.
And he just sicks him on him. And Frieza's here to watch the show. He's just holding the Dragon Ball, just and then he's just like, I'll watch and see how this goes. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da.
And that's the movie.
And that's the
And
movie.
this is the movie.
And then the
Like
next hour is fighting.
yep. Yeah.
So yeah, so got Brawly versus Vegeta. That's fun. You got something going back and forth. Vegeta not go up. Neither of these motherfuckers like going serious from the get go. Goku or Vegeta. If they think they're
Hmm.
stronger than you, they're not gonna try as hard as
Right.
they can. That's just how they are. And yeah, so he's sitting there and Brawly can't and Brawly's like keeping up with him despite him like powering up. Eventually Vegeta goes Super Saiyan and Paragus is like, what's that? Frieza looks at the dude like, wait, can he not do that? Can you not go Super Saiyan? That's the thing of legend. Oh, this is gonna suck.
A fun which we get a fun callback in 20 minutes down the line, 10 minutes down the line when Vegeta goes God Super Saiyan for the first time, and then Frieza is like, "Wait, what? What's that, Kakarot?"
Look at he not even go Super Saiyan. What the? Because if I'm Frieza, yeah, I'm just like, ain't this a fucking bitch? I thought.
Right. I've fought these motherfuckers. I know that like normal hair isn't even a fraction of what golden
Yeah,
hair
yeah,
becomes.
yeah. Like he's seen the blue hair. And by this point, he has seen the blue hair.
Oh, he has seen the blue hair.
He's seen the white hair that flashed when
Oh, that's
Goku
right.
was
He said
transforming.
he gets shocked by the fusion.
Yeah, he got shocked by the fusion. But I'm just saying, he's so yeah, I'm with you. He's like he knows that's just the basic level Super Saiyan. That's why he's like he can't even do that. Oh shit.
We're fucked. Yeah, I'm shocked character point of view, he didn't just immediately be like, all right, well, I'm out of here. Bye guys. You can just
he,
stay here.
he
You
was
might
ready to
die.
write him off a couple times. He's like, I guess that's it. And then probably just anger. Oh,
So
stupid.
is it like Hulk? Is that the easiest way to like
That's the
equate it?
closest thing I can say with this
Like
because
he just can't, like he's always going to be able to just like
keep
climb that
exponentially
next
getting
mountain.
angry. I believe so. Like saying, like they mentioned in this thing that it has something to do with his rage or whatever, and Saiyans can turn into giant apes or
Yeah.
whatever. This is like him embodying that transformation without transforming. So
Uh-huh.
he's like just and it being fueled by his rage, which also Saiyans are fused by. So I
But
think it really is a very Hulk. This interpretation,
is
at
he
least, is
transforming?
very
It
Hulk.
feels like they're trying to depict him growing in size with each one of those like
Yeah,
moments.
well, growing
Does he?
inside, transforming,
Well, no, yeah, I'm just
but
saying
not
like
transforming into an ape.
right, no, but does he does I it's that was more of a question to you. Was that just them playing with perspective, or are they actually depicting him like growing?
A
There's a
little of
few
both.
sequences where he looks almost like double to triple the size of Goku towards like the end of the fights there.
Yeah, like, but to what definitely by the end of the movie, he is transformed a couple times,
Okay.
clearly, because there's the point where, after beating Vegeta, he starts fighting Goku or whatever, which had the whole Brawly vision moment or whatever. When they get to it looks like he's about to lose again, and Frieza's like, "So do you think he's done?" Yeah, I don't think so. I know something about Saiyans, and so Frieza just turns around, kills the motherfucker. Again, never trust Frieza. Frieza gonna freeze. It's what he do. He just gonna do Frieza things, and then Brother, your dad died. Stray in a gym class. He goes Super Saiyan. That was when he went Super Saiyan. And
Yep.
Frieza knew it because when he killed Krillin in front of Goku, that led to Goku's first Super Saiyan transformation in the end of fighting against Frieza. That's why he got that idea. He's like, oh yeah, when I killed the bald one, this happened. Wonder if this will happen if I do this. Oh no, someone you really cared about died. And then just start CGIing the fuck out of things, just green fucking explosions of fucking hell, and just
there are some moments where they put very computer graphic, almost realism looking things, like depictions of ice and lava and
yeah.
explosion and like energy explosions that were almost like, yeah, outside of the cartoon realm and almost
Like
like
they were trying
realistic
something.
depicting.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was interesting take with them doing that. But I remember watching it, especially the first time because I saw it in theaters. That fucking by the time that fucking explosion happens, it's just a fucking roller coaster of like, oh my god, what is he doing? Like, you thought we were fighting in the Arctic. Nah, it's a volcano now. What? Just fucking volcanic hellscape. And then he's Super Saiyan and Goku's getting his ass whooped even harder. By the way, they hit this Super Saiyan God level and he's just puny godding him like Hulk versus Loki and Avengers and
Yeah.
screaming his ass off.
No, yeah. That was a brutal moment.
Yeah.
Like the gut-wrenching screams that the Goku voice actor was doing was, man, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I still love the fucking Brawly vision in the fucking theaters where it just randomly went like first person from his viewpoint. It was like, wait, what the fuck? Oh shit! Oh shit! But yeah, they do this, and eventually Vegeta's like, okay, you clearly can't beat him on your own. Also, Piccolo did some talking to him mentally at one point, like, yo, y'all good over there? I can't really help, but y'all good over there? Yeah, we might be. I don't know. And after some more cool fighting between them, we get to fucking them flying toward Frieza, just being like, "Heads up, buddy." Wait, what? They teleport out of there, and they start learning how to do the fusion dance and shit. And every time they fail, it's another 30 minutes before they can try again.
I
So
didn't I don't
Frieza,
know if that's depicted in the, because I would have seen the Goten Trunks
they mentioned that too.
child fusion. Yeah, I didn't know if any of that comedy business would have happened then, but it was funny to see those things.
Yeah, and yeah, it was funny to see the transformations again, especially for like nostalgia purposes. But then even more funny that every failure meant 30 more minutes of Frieza getting his ass whooped.
Right.
Like
It would
minimum,
just cut back to him just like up against a
yeah,
wall, just
minimum an hour,
getting a fist.
minimum 1 hour of him getting his ass whooped, even going into his golden form. Like, I have got the golden Frieza form, which is his ultimate form at that point that he got when he came back to life to be pretty much. I'm just as strong as Goku at Super Saiyan God level because I trained for once in my life.
Okay.
That's literally the whole thing. That was their whole excuse is, oh, I wonder what would happen if I trained. Look at my new form. I'm just as strong as you. Dies again, comes back the next time, and I'm still as powerful as you this time. What the fuck? Why do you keep being as strong as us? Stop bringing Frieza back to life, people. He's just gonna be stronger for no fucking reason because he has to be as strong as Goku to be an asshole. And yes,
Uh,
apparently in the comic, there's a Frieza Black or a Black Frieza, which led to its own memes about things in Frieza terms that he likes to use. Who's the monkey now? Goku. Type shit. Anyway, um, yeah, he gets his ass whooped, and then they do the fusion. It's Gogeta. So now Gogeta is finally canon. Because again, with this being considered canon, usually Gogeta was someone saved for movies and Dragon Ball GT.
Meanwhile, we keep cutting back to the two Frieza Force members that found Brawley the first time, and
Mm.
old girl Like we keep cutting back to her being like, "Oh my God, this is so terrible for Brawley. He's just an innocent. If only there was something we could do." As her right hand man is standing behind her, holding all seven Dragon Balls. Like three different times we cut back. Oh, if only we could do something to stop this.
No, it's wrong. He's innocent in all of this. He doesn't like fighting. His dad's making him. I like it. You two things. You can be wrong and right at the same time, child. Yeah, she can be wrong and right at the same time. Is his dad making him fight in this particular case? Yes. Is he a Saiyan and thus always likes fighting? Yes. That is
100%.
also a thing. But they Gogeta comes in, and that's when you see Frieza like, what is this? Oh yeah, you've been dead a long time. This is fusion, where Gogeta, Goku, and Vegeta have combined to be exponentially stronger. What? No fair!
Yeah, it's not just both of their power sets combined, it's them combined and multiplied multiple times over.
So stupid. There's a time limit to it, but yeah, pretty much it's like that's what the whole 30 minutes is about. They're fused for 30 minutes at that level, at that power level. But yeah, so they start fighting Brawly, and Brawly just starts getting stronger and stronger until the point where he looks like his original self, where he's at his biggest and bulkiest with the spikiest of yellow hair, which looks like his
Mhm.
original movie
Oh my
design.
God, that moment when he's just like, and then the energy beam starts coming out of his mouth as he's screaming, and he's just like, the energy beams just going crazy. That was crazy.
That was crazy. But he's doing his thing, and then they start fighting, and then the fucking universe just breaks. They should just wait. What the? They're just fighting
I was
in
gonna ask
between
you about that.
dimensions.
Like, what is that?
So
Is that just an artistic decision? Or are they literally trying to say that they were like so fast that they were in like the Speed Force or
the way
something?
I've interpreted it, and I've had others tell me, and I kind of agree with rather. Um, in Battle of the Gods, when we first meet Kakarot, or when we first meet Beerus, the Sphinx dude, him versus Goku at Super Saiyan God level. Their fight is like real dangerous, and there's points where there's like cracks. They're like, oh, if these guys keep clashing, it's going to break the universe or break reality. And it was like cracking. And I think there's a couple times in the Tournament of Power where that kind of came up to, oh shit, these guys know they risk destroying, the reality
The
as we
fabric
know
of
it.
the universe.
But this movie, rather than oh God, they risked doing it, it just clashed and went straight to broken. Just and then it's the just like what the they're just fighting in the alternate dimension because Brawley's really just trying to run the hands at this point. He don't care about shit. I don't think he cares that his dad died. He's just you need to die, whoever's in front of me. So they're fighting, and then I think they fight until they fucking fix reality again with the fucking clashing.
Hmm.
And then Gogeta just gets the upper hand and just starts going to town. And just starts beating the shit out of this dude. Like it becomes incredibly one-sided. Brawley's about to die. He's about to just fucking Kamehameha the fuck out of him. And then that's when she like summons the dragon and wishes that Brawley goes back to the planet he came from as soon as possible because he ain't surviving getting shot.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching this before. I'm like, what's gonna happen here? What's she gonna do? And then I saw the summon. I'm like, oh, she's gonna send him away, ain't she? It would have
Yeah,
been cool
initially
if
I
she
thought it was gonna be like wishing for like his mind to be at peace or
yeah,
something like that. Um
yeah, something to
I
calm him down.
yeah,
Yeah,
I did not like the instant transport method, but then what happens by the end of it, I'm cool with it. But
yeah.
the in my gut reaction is just like, oh.
Yeah,
They
exactly. Like,
they just sent him to another planet.
yeah. Is it a
Back
back
to the
home?
back. Yeah, I mean it's home, but there's nobody there.
Yeah, his dad's dead.
Yeah, now he's completely by himself.
Yeah. And he just immediately powers down to like, what the fuck?
Hmm.
I'm home. But Frieza gets mad. She and the dude limo, they run away. They go after Brawly, and Frieza gets ready to destroy it. Gogeta's like, I don't think you should, and Frieza doesn't even bother trying to fight that. He's like, whatever, I'm done here. I'm going home. Wasted my fucking wish. And they don't even realize he was there to wish for something fucking mundane either. They still thought he was trying to wish for like immortality, which he
Right, yeah,
like,
yeah.
which he's
Earth to be
like,
destroyed or
yeah. He's like, that's too easy. Wait, that would get rid of all the fun. If I can't take any damage, or if I live forever, it'd be hell. I've lived in hell now, and I fucking hate it. By the way, hell for Frieza is him being stuck in a cocoon in a tree with a bunch of like fluffy toys playing music and being happy all day.
Okay.
But yeah, and then they eventually gets back to the planet. They're Vampa. They're chilling with Brawly. Goku shows up. Oh, they had the gag earlier where Frieza's like, I had to come to your repugnant world and do so and so. Oh no, he comes from a repugnant planet that does also. What's repugnant mean? It means something terrible and stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. And then later it's just like, hey guys, I'm Goku. Why the fuck are you here? Well, from what I hear, this planet's repugnant. So, so I got you some fucking capsules. What the? Why? I just want to fight Brawly every once in a while. We don't like you, and we will never like you. That's okay as long as I can fight him. You want to fight me too, don't you, Brawly?
Yeah, Brawley kept smiling every time Goku was like, I just want to make sure you guys are happy because I want to fight that dude right back there. And it wouldn't be fun if that dude was malnourished while fought him. I want that dude to be healthy and strong. I fight
And it's like, beat your ass, dude.
him.
Because that's just what the Saiyans are. They like stay fighting. Okay, that's what they do. And then they're leaving. Wait, we don't even know your name. And then Goku's like, "Oh, my name's Goku, but Brawly, you could call me Kakarot." Which that whole thing is because, like I mentioned, original Brawly's lame backstory led to him hating Kakarot very, very much to the point to where he had a whole subdued shock collar thing with his gimmick as well. But in that movie, when he met Goku, he remembered him crying as a baby. And when he heard the name, got pissed, started yelling Kakarot a bunch, supers up to Hulk out. First movie, he has some actual dialogue in a sense itself. By the second movie, he's just yelling Kakarot repeatedly. Like he sees Goten, who also has Goku's hair, yells Kakarot, and that's all he says is Kakarot, Kakarot, Kakarot.
Okay.
And Bio Brawly,
Yeah.
the
So that
couple
was a little
seconds
wink to
that
the fans.
yeah, the couple of seconds that he is Brawly before turning into the shit monster, he says Kakarot once or twice, and it's seeing Goten that sets him off because he looks like Goku. So the Kakarot thing, and then we have this movie where he's canon and he doesn't say the word Kakarot once because he doesn't find out that that's the man's name till the end of the movie. But that's what the whole Brawly call me Kakarot. There's been one movie since, and in that movie at least, Goku he is now also taking time to chill with Goku and Vegeta and train and fight just with Beerus and Whis and chill because of course.
Right on. Um,
Anything
yeah,
else that stands out or anything?
no, yeah, I think we hit a bunch of it. I would say like my thoughts on this were I was really enjoying it. I was really enjoying it up until the fight. And then the fight isn't. I mean, I'm already that's part of that's one of the reasons why I'm not necessarily a Dragon Ball fan in a big way because I just that's just not the fighting animation that normally grips me that much. And then yeah, the just the story of where we went from there. I thought we were going to be continuing to build on this like son eventually realizing his father's an asshole thing. Like
Mhm.
I thought like that whole it, like yeah, the fighting I'm not a huge fan of. I would say from that moment forward where Goku actually when he's in God form and actually successfully freezes Brawly for a good chunk of time there and almost breaks through that wall. Um, from that moment forward, we completely abandoned that whole potential of things. And it's just like, oh my God, stop the atomic bomb kind of plot line. Um and that's where the movie kind of lost me. Then it's just literally it's just like you say, it's just explosion fest for a minute there. And it's just um so and then at first I didn't love the ending they chose, and then the Goku showing up on the planet kind of saved it all for me. But I don't know Dragon Ball canon that well. I don't know the movies. I don't know. I can't tell you if this is a good movie, if this was a bad movie necessarily. I would say everything up until the fight when it starts getting real Dragon Ball-y. Um, uh, um, it's just it's a very good structured movie going on. It's and even as someone, if I hadn't even seen Dragon Ball Z, I feel like it explains things well and concisely when they need to. They tell you what they need to tell you, and they don't really go much beyond that. So you know what you have to know, and the story progresses, and I was enjoying some of the arcs that were going on, but then yeah, we have to get in an hour's worth of a fight, and it just doesn't leave much time for character development when you're punching each other in the face. So it lost me a little bit there. But
Fair enough.
otherwise I enjoyed my experience. Full 100% disclosure, I thought it was going to be something that I was going to end up doing some things in the background. Like maybe I had to get the dishes unloaded and the dishwasher unloaded and like, take care of a couple other things, set up this new digital picture frame thing, get that hung up on the wall. Like I was kind of thinking like, all right, I'll put this on, I'll make sure I gather the bullet points, but when I get disinterested, I'll start working on these chores that are centered around the TV area. And I didn't end up doing any of that. I sat and watched. We took one short break so I could let the dogs out, and we came back and we started watching again. I say we as in me and the dogs. Um, so yeah, I had a good time.
All right. Well, it's all right. Because Jazz thought the fighting was boring too, which I
But he likes Dragon Ball, right?
oh no, he thought this movie was boring. What's the fighting? Like he thought the fighting was boring. So I was like, ah,
Isn't it
fair
just
enough.
Dragon Ball fighting? Like,
Yes, that's how I see it. I saw it as like a nonstop action. Like, as someone that likes Dragon Ball, I like the fighting and stuff. And I'm just like I said, I called it fan service. That's just what it was. It was, oh shit, they did it. That's me. Very easily amused. So dangling the flashing lights in front of me is funny. But that's it. So there you go. So, but yeah, Jazz, I guess is the same book as you. I'm a fan of the movie. I'm now 0 for 2 on recommending this movie to people.
well, like
Never in my
I
life.
mean,
Hey, no,
you're
I
ignoring all of the positives that I had, but that's fair if you want to do that.
Well, no, that is true. You did say that it had the good first half with the story and the structure leading up to
Yeah,
everything.
I just think for me, I felt like it abandoned a couple of the things that it felt like it was setting up.
Mhm.
And I liked the movie that I had been plotting out in my head more than the movie that happened.
That's fair. So there you have it, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Rest in peace to Toriyama and all of that. Bill, what are we watching next
Oh,
week?
let's pull a classic off the shelf here. Omari and also my wife has not seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh yeah.
Bow, bow.
Ooh, shit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. Ferris Bueller's next day off, or Ferris
Nope.
Bueller's day off next week
Yep.
is what we will be watching. And if you want to see us do other stuff and talk, like on Saturdays, we have a show called You Don't Watch Sports. Two guys, three topics, help you sprinkle some little information into your sports conversation as we're your guiding light. You can see that is casual sports talk. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube on the Whatever We Want podcast. Do it with a good friend of mine, a good friend of the show, Super Jazz.
Super Jazz.
Thank you very much. As nature intended, we talk about just that. And I have a Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in, stop on by. Been playing some fighting games. Got to get ready for CEO in June. Yeah.
Boom. Do it. My man's coming. It's coming for you.
Yeah. Bill, you got anything you want to say to the folks?
No.
All right. Well, we will see you next week with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Adiosness.